Happy 60th anniversary. One of my earliest recollections is, Rick, when you left Western Airlines to go to Matlock, and I thought, why would people change jobs? Well, over the years, we've learned why that happens. We were so fortunate to have you as young friends at Kent. It was very meaningful. And then to watch you leave Matlock and go to Bible college and then enter the ministry. We knew of your experiences in Port Orchard and then going to NBC and then Cody and Grangeville. And then we all met together in Nampa just about 10 years ago, maybe 12. And then we got to meet Michael and Robbie as adults and their wonderful families. And it's been a joy to be near you and for me to work with Christy and then to meet the girls, Claire and Maddie, and Claire's husband. It's been a very joyful thing for us in these years. We wish you many continued years of happiness and good health, and congratulations again. Have a wonderful 60th celebration.
Hi, Jeannie and Rick.
Hi, guys.
I'm going to give you some memories here of how wonderful you've been in our lives. First of all, congratulations to both of you on your 60th anniversary. Your life together has been so amazing as you've moved from place to place, raised two extremely awesome boys, pastored many churches, and retired, which included immediately volunteering at MAF. Here are some highlights we remember over the years. 60 years ago, I was a flower girl in your wedding, and 45 years ago, Jeannie was my matron of honor. I always thought it was so cool that Rick was in the first Continental Singers, and I always loved listening to his record and attending Continental concerts whenever they were in town. It was especially fun to come and see you guys 2 times when Rick came to Oregon for a reunion. When Susie and I were little, we always had so much fun visiting you too, including your place on Merton Street, your apartment in Seattle, and your house in Kent, where we made an alphabet train for Mike's room to help him learn his ABCs. The memories with you in Kent also include you buying and making for us Kraft macaroni and cheese from a box, which our mother never did. When you became parents, I became an aunt at age 8, and I loved every minute of it. When I was in about the 4th grade and we lived in Kirkland, I remember that you guys always gave us the best birthday and Christmas gifts, including white zippered King James Version Bibles, a tabletop basketball game with twisty rods, and an auto fun game. Also in Kirkland, it was so fun when you guys came over and Rick and Dad played pool in the basement. Tom remembers coming to see you in Port Orchard and says Rick was quite the ping pong competitor and would insist on playing until he won a game. A vivid memory I have from visiting you in Linden was the night there was the biggest thunderstorm I had ever experienced, where I thought it sounded like the lightning hit large trees, split them down the middle, and the 2 halves would crash and rumble as they fell to the ground. The summer after graduating from high school, Susie and I went to the Nazarene World Youth Conference in Estes Park, Colorado, and you guys happened to be living in Colorado Springs. We were able to extend our trip and stay with you until Mom and Dad drove over. Highlights from that trip include, I just lost it, going to the top of Pikes Peak, working on sewing projects, and Rick teaching us how to drive a stick shift car, the green Pinto, in the Bible College parking lot. We love any time we get to spend with you and have way too many memories to list, but here are some more. Tom and I enjoyed visiting you when you lived in Port Orchard, and we got to watch hydroplane races. Early in our marriage, Tom encouraged me to fly to come to see you in Idaho, which I did. One time I came to visit you and stayed for 11 days, and I remember Rick drove me one way. When Jennifer was very little, she and I came to see you in Riverton. We traveled there by airplane, landing in Salt Lake City because it was a good price, and you 2 graciously drove to pick us up. A 4.5-hour drive according to Google, but it took us much longer than that as Jennifer kept thinking she needed a restroom. Another time when Jennifer was small, she and I rode with Grandma and Grandpa White to Riverton, and Jennifer enjoyed the blankets we arranged for her in the back seat of the car where she had a nice cozy nest. On one of those trips, you took us to Thermopolis and Sinks Canyon, which were really great. Tom remembers going on a fishing trip with Rick up into the mountains above the Sinks. He had a great time, but neither one of them caught anything. When Jeannie took a business course in Riverton, I was able to attend her graduation. I asked Justin for some of his memories, and he immediately said, panning for gold in the Clearwater River and sharing Rick's birthday. He also remembers using a butterfly net in Riverton and getting a large turtle shell in a teepee at an Indian reservation event. Say hello.
Hello.
Here are some of Jennifer's memories from going to see you in Riverton. Your big stone fireplace, the bar stools where she had cereal and learned to love ice cold milk. And from her visits to Grangeville, the Borders Day Parade, riding Peppy the horse, having fresh cow's milk ice cream with Liberty Quartet and not liking it, going to the hardware store that sold license plates, the painting in your living room of Jesus giving someone a hug, going to the Chatterbox, walking by the river. Also, I remember one time when Jennifer was of driving age, she and I took a spur-of-the-moment trip right before school started, and she and I drove to see you in Grangeville and went with you to the county fair. Jennifer also remembers she flew to Boise one time to see her friend Stevie at NNU, but Stevie ended up being too busy. So Jennifer got to spend more time with you and had more fun going out for Mexican food, going to Hobby Lobby, etc. Tom has this Grangeville memory. We were just pulling into town when Rick, a chaplain at the time, was riding along with an Idaho State Patrol police officer and had him turn his lights on to make us think we were doing something wrong and pulled us over. Did I wreck that? Another time Tom and I remember in Grangeville was joining you and some church people in October for a hayride and bonfire. Tom remembers having fun when Rick took him for a ride at the boulders in the ATV going way up in the hills. When we were visiting you at your current house a couple years ago, Tom said he had an awfully good time playing pool with Rick and also going to the Golden Corral together. Tom also has fond memories of he and Rick shopping at Winco together and making fun purchases in aisle 3A. This coincided with another major highlight, Jeannie's amazing tea party for Christy, Claire, and Maddie, and that I got to be a part of. Real quick, and I'm almost done. I remember Rick's model cars, Jeannie's teapot collection, and Jeannie making Susie and I yarn animals, doll clothes, and more. Even though we have not lived in the same town for 60 years, it has been so awesome that we have been able to keep in touch and remain so close. We enjoy every minute we get to be together. And have fun. Lots of fun. Playing games or just talking on the phone. Or on Zoom. We have always loved keeping up to date on each other's lives and families. Sharing recipes, jokes, etc. Tom and Rick have had some practical joking between them through the mail, which of course has been very fun. 10 years ago, which is hard to believe, it's been that long, I was able to attend your 50th wedding anniversary celebration, which was wonderful, and I also got to see your new house. Over the years, it's been so awesome to see both of you serving the Lord wherever He led you as pastor and pastor's wife. You two have always been an inspiration to us, and we have always felt your amazing love, support, and encouragement over the years. You are both so special to us, and we hope you have fun celebrating this special milestone. Love you.
Happy anniversary, Gwam and Gwamps. We had to re-record because Isaac said happy birthday.
On take one was a failure right off the bat.
Okay, so we wanted to do our memories in chronological order. So I'm going to start with Grangeville. I have so many special memories of you guys living in Grangeville and us coming to visit. Some of my favorites are looking at Gwamps' fish tank and all the friends in there. I always really liked the angelfish especially. And then playing with my dad's Little People set was always super fun. I believe Gwam Opera was born in Grangeville, which has lasted a long time. We always liked the little thing that gave us not a word but nice creation. That's been very important. I always really liked how we got to walk to church and walk to the store, and I have special memories of walking with you guys everywhere. And I believe, Gwam, that you first taught me to crochet in Grangeville. It was an ongoing project, but I think that was the first time we started. So those are some of my Grangeville memories. Then when you moved to Boise, it was so fun because we got to see you a lot more, and we really, really liked that. Some really special memories from Boise are, of course, cousin camp and the chicken breakfasts, and then going to the boulders a lot more and getting to do ranger rides and go on Hand Hill, and staying in your trailer is one of my very favorite memories. And then Sissy and I always loved when we got to stay at your Boise house and we got our own personal suite in the bathroom with the curtain, and the living room was our bedroom. That was always so special to both of us. And then you moved to Nampa, which we liked the best of all. And I have really, really special memories of in college getting to come to your house on Thursdays for dinner. And I like how we just made that a thing, and now it's our tradition even now. And I just have really special memories of talking with you guys really late and talking about my classes and my friends. That was so special to me. And now,
and that's where
Isaac
I come
comes
is
in
with the Thursday dinners for Nampa. And so some of my favorite memories is you introduced me to caroms, and I love caroms. It's so much fun. And then, Gwam, you turned me into a pie person. You have changed my life for the better forever. Because, as you know, before your apple pie, I did not like pie at all. And now I like pie all the time because of you. And then, of course, Gwamps, there is your mini fourth grade adventures. And so you should probably actually write a book about that. Instead of Tom Sawyer, Adventures of Tom Sawyer, you should write the mini adventures of fourth grade Gwamps Jorgensen, because that's always so fun to talk about and learn about and over dinner, and it's just so much fun. Very, very special.
and then now we'll still go chronologically. We have so many special memories of learning new games and sharing recipes and just talking and going on walks, and of course the infamous oven disaster and Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
That was super fun. And then I also have really special memories of just all the holidays we've had together over the years, and playing games and being stuffed and having dessert and going on walks. And I love all those memories. So those are just some highlights because we had to keep it a little short.
Yes.
Okay, well, we love you and happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Gwam and Gwamps. Congratulations on 60 years of being married. That's so wonderful. I just wanted to share a couple memories with you. Gwamps, one of Sissy's and my favorite childhood memories is when you would come and pick us up from school in the Bronco, and you would take us to Dairy Queen with us sitting in the back seat anytime you picked us up, and it was always so special. And you guys always came to our grandparents' days at Nampa Christian when we were growing up, and getting to have you guys there, and then we'd usually go to Pizza Hut or something afterwards, and those were just really, really special times. Gwam, you gave me my love of baking, which is something that is just so special in my life and something I love to do, and that I give all the credit to you for all my skills, which still need some improvement. And all the special times that we had going to the boulders and doing ranger rides, whether it was just me and Sissy or for cousins camp, and all the special things we would do when you guys had all us kids over, going to the dollar store and all getting to pick out fun things for each other, and waking up and having our chicken themed breakfasts and all the interesting things that Tyler would say at our chicken themed breakfasts. You were such a part of making us close even as kids, which was really, really special to us. And since then, as we've gotten older, being able to share teas and things of our hearts and things of going to school, and just knowing that you're always praying for me. Knowing that you pray for me on Mondays is truly so special to me, Gwam, and getting to share things that are happening in my life, and knowing that you will always be there to encourage us towards the Lord and to be such an example of how to live godly lives and how to have a godly marriage is truly a gift that I don't want to ever take for granted. We love you guys so much. Have a happy anniversary.
Hello. Hey. Happy anniversary. So we're just going to share one quick memory all the way around. Mine is we went on summer vacations in the trailer.
Happy anniversary. Cooking Thanksgiving turkey, and it came out raw.
Oh. Hi, Gwam. Hi, Gwamps. It's me. My favorite memory, one of lots of them, is the ranger rides and the chicken pitcher.
Hi guys, it's Izzy. Happy anniversary, and it's all the giggling that we do.
Hi guys, it's the FaceTime call we had just the other week.
Hello, happy anniversary. I think my favorite memory is the one cousin camp where we went and saw the Boise Capitol.
Oh, that was a good one.
Hello, it's me. Hi, Gwam and Gwamps. We love you. My favorite memory would honestly be just sitting on your couch and talking with you guys.
Hello, I'm actually somebody else, but I thought that was pretty good. My favorite memory is hanging out with you guys all those times that we came down and visited.
Okay, we're excited for your 60th.
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary! Love ya.
Hello, Mom and Dad, Gwam and Gwamps. Happy 60th wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
We've been reminiscing about some of the memories that we've had with you over the years, and we've thought back to all the places you've lived and the fun adventures we've gotten to have at those places, and we're so glad you live now in the same town with us. But I was thinking back to one of the first times I met you was in McCall. I was working at the camp at Victory Cove, and I remember you came up camping with your trailer and you brought your bikes up with you, and I had my bike, and just the three of us rode our bikes into town, and Mike wasn't there at that time because he was living in Ontario. So the three of us rode our bikes to town, and we got ice cream, and then we rode them back and visited at your trailer, and we had so much fun. I remember lots of laughing and talking and getting acquainted, and it was just a delightful time. Not very much traffic back then, and perfect weather.
And I wanted to thank you for letting me share 55 of those 60 years of your marriage, to have me be part of your lives, and just wanted to tell you how wonderful it was to be in your family and still in your family. I remembered your commitment to getting piano lessons for me, even though maybe I wasn't as excited about it, but I especially appreciate now your commitment to having me see it through, because of the benefits that it's brought, even to the point of really our girls playing piano. I don't think that we probably would have done that if that hadn't been part of my life and being committed to it. So I remember that. I remember our Black Story and Clark piano. I remember all the different piano teachers in the different places that we lived, and just thank you for that. That was good.
And another memory I have is when you came up to McCall, but this time Mike was with us. And we went for a ride up the back way to Brundage on a dirt road. And we rode on the back of the station wagon, standing up. And I remember that was a rule in my household that I wasn't allowed to do that. So I was scared to death, but we had such a good time riding on the back of the station wagon up to the top of Brundage.
And I remember all of our moving adventures as a kid. I remember being in Kent and Linden and going to Colorado Springs, and I especially remember the exciting day that we moved into the Aspen townhouses. I remember it was pouring down rain, and me and Rob having fun in the new basement. I remember our neat Port Orchard house that you partially chose to live in because we, the boys, thought it was neat to live there in that place with the acres and acres of woods and blackberry bushes, and then coming to Boise and on to Cuna, all of that being able to share with you, and then you guys going to Riverton and being able to visit you there, and also Grangeville until you finally came back here to Boise, and then Nampa. So that's a lot of places I remember you being.
And I remember having dinners with you at Pizza Hut. We had Pizza Hut in, I think it was Cuna. Wasn't it their Pizza Hut there? And sure Meridian. Yeah, that we would go to. And many fun memories of having pizza together and laughter around the table.
And I remember our good family times camping in our trailer, playing Coup Foray and listening to Martin Denny. Just really neat times with a lot of pretty places in our trailer.
And speaking of camping, I remember you taking me up on a camping trip in Wyoming. We joined you, and was it the station wagon that broke down? Something broke down on the trip. And so, yeah, I think it was Sinks Canyon, and we had someone from the church come get us, and just great memories and laughter from that trip. And we had such a wonderful time anyway, but it was just a memory that stood out as being extra fun, even though things didn't go as planned. We had a good time.
Mm-hmm. And then remembering our wedding, and Dad, you doing our wedding, and how neat and special that was, and just having you be a part of that was neat. And then our anniversary only being one day away from yours has always been special as well.
And speaking of weddings, we had so much fun when you hosted the bridal shower in Riverton, and Morgan and I came, and we know you still don't believe us, but we did see Cuddles the buffalo rolling in the dirt on that trip, and we will both say that for the rest of our lives, that we did see the buffalo rolling in the dirt.
And then I remember coming up to Grangeville many times with our girls, and the aquarium there, and then going down in the town. Just some real special memories together as a family in Grangeville too.
And speaking of Grangeville, I remember specifically the 4th of July and dressing up the girls in their red, white, and blue outfits to come see you guys, and then watching I think there was a 4th of July parade or something that went on in the park there. I remember sitting, we brought all the chairs out and had a really fun time having a picnic in the park.
Mm-hmm. And going back in time a little bit to Riverton, I remember surprising you once driving
for Mother's Day.
For Mother's Day, we drove all the way to Riverton, and
spur of the moment,
just showed up on your doorstep, and that was fun.
That was so much fun. And then another memory is when we all got to go to Disneyland together, and just remembering how excited we were when the bus pulled up and you guys were on it, and we had our signs out, and we had such a fun time. And Gwamps got us a drawing for our anniversary that we still have. We haven't framed it yet, which is typical us, but it's a really special memory.
And finally, I think we just want to congratulate you and thank you for the good example that you've been to us, as we are coming tomorrow on 33 years of marriage, and we have had your wonderful example of marriage to look at through the years, and we thank you for that, and we love you, and thank you very much. Congratulations.
We love you. Hi, Jeannie and Rick.
Hello, newlyweds.
Happy 60th anniversary. We're looking back. That means it must have been 60 years ago that I was a flower girl in your wedding. That was a long time ago, and I've done some growing up, but all along it's been fun to be involved with you guys as much as we have been. In the summer, when you guys used to let us come up and stay, and we would play games and have fun food and make craft projects with Jeannie. We got real good at nerds. I was just going to show you. This is probably the original deck. Still very good shape. Works great. Magic. And then when I turned 8, I received a Bible with my name right here from Jeannie and Rick, and I carried it for absolute years everywhere I went, church, camp, you name it. The zippers broke, but I do love it. Thank you. It's a real Bible, by the way.
King James.
And I wanted to thank Rick for helping teach Sandy and I how to stick shift in the parking lot of the Nazarene Bible College in Colorado Springs in the green Pinto.
It helps when she drives the old Chevy too.
I've drove it once in the church parking lot up here and never on the street. So that doesn't even count, but that was fun, and I did learn how. So that's fantastic. I want us to remember the fun time we had in Cuna when we, as a family, produced our very own, very official, brought to you live tree swing competition, and only to be followed by Name That Hymn, complete with commercials and commentary by Tom Broken. And who can forget the Grangeville egg toss champs, Bob and Rick? Almost champs.
But Rick did not tell me that that egg was already cracked.
Oh.
When he threw it to me the last time. No wonder I couldn't catch it right.
Well, you're still champs in our minds.
Yeah.
So we've just been glad to be able to keep up to date with you guys all these years, and we want you to know that we love you, and we're encouraged that you care about the details of our lives and you pray for us regularly. So happy anniversary, you guys. Love you. Bye.